Hi guys, today I wanted to share my sun-dried tomato and Parmesan pasta dish with grilled chicken. This is a recipe that I created about a year ago. My family loves it. It has great flavor. If you want to grill the chicken, that is great, but you can also cook it in the skillet as well if you happen to live in an area where it's really cold right now, or if you want to make this at a later time. So first we're going to start with everything you're going to need to marinate your chicken. You're going to need 4 chicken breasts, and you'll want those to be boneless and skinless. And if you have thicker chicken breasts, I suggest that you pound them out so that they're about a 1/4 inch thick. This will help your chicken to become nice and tender when you grill it, and that way you don't have, really tough chicken. You're going to need just really simple ingredients for the marinade. This is going to give it a great flavor, but there is a lot of flavor in the sauce that is with the pasta. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. You'll need 2 cloves of garlic, and you'll want to mince those. You'll also need 1 teaspoon of dried basil. And then you're just going to need a little bit of salt and pepper. So very simple, easy marinade ingredients. For the rest of the recipe, you're going to need 2½ cups of pasta. I have brown rice and quinoa pasta here. I really like the texture of it, and we eat gluten-free. But you can use white pasta or whole wheat pasta. You can use penne if you want. It really does not matter. You're going to need 1 cup of either vegetable broth or chicken broth. I had some homemade vegetable broth in the freezer, so you can see a few specks of carrots in there. You'll also need about 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. If you want a little extra to sprinkle on top of your pasta dish, then you'll need that as well. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of butter, 1/2 cup of half and half. You'll need 1/2 cup of sun-dried tomatoes, and you'll want to chop those. They don't have to be in very small pieces, but you just want to chop them a little bit. You'll need 4 cloves of garlic, and you'll want to mince those. You're going to need some basil. I have some fresh basil here. I have about 1/4 cup. You can use dry basil. Obviously, you'll need a lot less dry basil. Probably 1½ teaspoons would be just fine. You'll also need 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil to cook everything, and then you'll need a little bit of salt and pepper. So basically for the marinade, you're just really going to mix everything together. So I have my 2 tablespoons of olive oil and my 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 1 teaspoon of dry basil, and my 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And then you'll just want a little bit of salt and pepper. And you can just whisk those together. And you'll just want to make sure your chicken is in a dish with a lid. And you'll just want to pour that over your chicken. And spread it around a little bit. Then you'll just want to cover your chicken and marinate it in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours. You'll want to start by grilling your chicken, and you'll need to grill it for about 5 to 7 minutes on each side. You definitely don't want to overcook it, but you just want to make sure there is no pink on the inside. I am going to have my husband grill and work on the pasta and the sauce at the same time. But if you are doing all of this yourself, definitely grill your chicken first, and then you can set it aside and work on your sauce and pasta. Because the chicken is going to get mixed in with everything, it is going to have a chance to warm up again. If you want to cook this in a skillet, just cut your chicken into bite-sized pieces and cook it in the skillet with a little bit of oil until it is no longer pink. You're going to start by boiling some water for your pasta. You'll just cook your pasta according to the package. To make your sauce, you're going to heat a large skillet over medium-high heat. You'll want a nice large skillet because you're going to add all of your pasta and chicken and everything into this after you make your sauce. So you'll want to heat up a couple tablespoons of olive oil. And make sure that's nice and hot. You'll just want to saute your sun-dried tomatoes and garlic for about a minute. I'm sure you know that garlic burns really quickly. And then you're going to add all of your other ingredients. So you can go ahead and add your 2 tablespoons of butter so it can melt in there. And you'll want to turn down your heat a little bit before you add the half and half. So I usually turn it down to medium-low. And you can add your chicken or vegetable broth. Keep stirring everything together. And this will give the pan a chance to cool down a little bit before you add the half and half. You can go ahead and add your Parmesan cheese. It's going to make a really delicious creamy sauce for your pasta. You just want to stir that in until it dissolves into the broth. You can also add your basil. You can go a little bit quicker. I'm just recording, obviously, so it's just a little bit longer when you're explaining everything. Make sure all of that cheese is melted in there. Usually just takes about 5 minutes to just stir everything together and heat it. And you can go ahead and add your half and half. And you can also add a little salt and pepper. You'll just want to continue to stir your sauce and it will get nice and creamy. And everything should be mixed together really well before you add your pasta and your chicken. These are the chicken breasts after they have been grilled, and I'm just going to slice these into bite-sized pieces. You can then go ahead and add your pasta and your chicken to your skillet with your sauce. And you can just mix it all together and make sure everything is heated through. And there you have it, guys. You can garnish it with a little bit more of the fresh basil and some Parmesan if you prefer. I like to serve mine with garlic bread and just a simple side salad. I hope that you enjoyed this recipe. Definitely let me know if you give it a try. Thank you very much for watching.